Today, we're upgrading an Arrma Grom, which may be some of the best, easiest, and least expensive RC cars to get you going. This Typhon brushed model only costs $150, and it is an absolute awesome car that comes ready to run. It includes everything like the battery, and it's just a fantastic deal for the price. But there are some limitations, like the speed. So today, we're gonna kick things up a notch and put a brushless motor and ESC conversion kit in this, along with some other upgrades, and take this Grom to the next level. Now, to make this project possible, we've got this EcoPower brushless upgrade system with a 35 amp ESC and a 4600 kV motor. This is a 2 and 3S compatible system. And it comes with an ESC that's got the correct EC2 connector, so it's going to work with all the stock Spectrum batteries that come with the Groms. Now, to go with that brushless system, we've picked up a new servo. This is the WP173 aluminum case servo. It comes with an aluminum horn, and it's a 25-tooth spline servo. And it comes with tons of torque for mini cars and also lots of speed. Now, with this servo, we also have the one-piece servo mount that's also our ESC tray, so we'll mount the ESC right up top. And the thing about converting to brushless is that we're going to lose our receiver when we remove the stock ESC, so we'll have to add our own. We also have the EcoPower programmer card that goes with the ESC because it is programmable. And we've got the Hot Racing aluminum servo saver. This is aluminum, it's adjustable, and then it has a 25-tooth spline that's going to match up to that servo perfectly. This servo saver actually comes in different tooth splines, so it will fit other servos. And then we also have this chassis protector that'll go right on the bottom of the car to help protect that plastic chassis from any hard hits, scrapes, divots, and it's just gonna look cool too when we flip over on our lid. Now, the last thing we have are super awesome. These are new Upgrade RC tires. These are called saw blades that were originally made in a 3.8 size for 10 scale bashers, but are now being made for the Groms, and these will fit perfectly on the Typhon. The thing is, these tires are not available yet, but look at that. They are a little bit taller than the stock tires. They're about the right width, and then they have the correct hex on the inside too. There's some other upgrade tires that are coming for the other Groms too, but they're not yet available, but will be shortly. So we're going to unplug this fan, and the whole plastic top spline pulls off with the motor and motor mount attached. We can just kind of wiggle this down and out. So we're going to reuse this pinion gear on the new motor. Heatsink's just a little too big. Man, that pinion was really tight on there. Look at all the leftover Loctite. It was kind of gooped. I mean, that's good. It's not going to come loose. But I had to use a flat blade screwdriver to pry it up. Nice. In the future, it may be good to upgrade this motor mount to aluminum to help dissipate more heat, and it's going to be a lot stronger. Look at this servo. Comes with an aluminum horn. It's an all aluminum case, aluminum ears. It's waterproof, and it is just stout. We're gonna have really powerful steering, and that's why we needed a more robust servo saver, so we can actually get that servo power directed to our tires without the stock servo saver absorbing it. Now, before we get this servo mounted up, we want to connect it in, find our center point, and have it all wired into our receiver. Now, since we already have a different transmitter that we want to use, it makes it a whole lot easier. But if you're wanting to use the stock Grom transmitter, you could just buy a dedicated receiver extra. It costs a little bit more money, but you can then bind that receiver to the stock transmitter and continue to use it. We're just going to go a different route and use our FlySky system. Okay, so we're all bound up, and we need to orient the spline on the servo to the outside of the car, and the horn needs to go perfectly straight up. So we'll plop that dude on there. Will the stock screw fit? It does not. Okay, so I just realized the servo saver includes a screw. So we need some screws, and I'm gonna pull out these screws from the stock servo. And there's a spacer right here. I wonder if we'll need that. We'll hang on to it just in case. So these screws are going into our metal mount too, so I'm just putting a little bit of Loctite. There we go. So I only thread in the screws about 80% with the electric gun, and then I hand tighten them. Otherwise you could easily strip them out. For our fan plug, we can power it by plugging it into any extra channel in the receiver. Okay, it's done. Space is a premium inside this car, and we've mounted the receiver on its side, which should fit with the body, and then the switch is right there. So to get our steering dialed in, we want to first center it. And you can see right now in our center spot, it's not centered. So I'm going to adjust it a little bit until it looks like it's about right. That looks about good. And then I'm going to adjust my endpoints. And if you don't have an endpoint adjustment on your transmitter, steering dual rates would also work. And just turn that down. But if your servo is trying to throw further than the vehicle's mechanical parts are capable of, you can burn up the servo. That looks pretty good. This servo is speedy. So the cool thing about this ESC is that it will calibrate itself. So you just turn it on, leave your transmitter in the neutral position, and then it will beep a couple of times letting you know calibrated itself. So it should be good. And then lastly with this ESC that's really cool is this program card where we can make different program adjustments. You unplug the ESC from the receiver, plug it in here, and then we can adjust our low voltage cutoff for lipos, our start modes, our max brake force, max reverse force, and then our neutral range. And then there's buttons at the bottom to navigate. Now the last thing we want to do is add on our chassis protector, and it's labeled front and back. Now what we want to do before applying this is just to clean this plastic chassis really well so it's clean, dust-free, and the adhesive sticks really well. So we just put the body on and we had an issue. The receiver was previously mounted right here. We had to swap it, just move it back a little bit because that receiver was hitting the body. That is way faster than before. So previously we did a speed run with it being stock on the 2S and it only did about 20 miles an hour. Now it's, I'm gonna guess like 35. 34, wow, okay. Incredibly punchy, just like tons of power on the bottom end. And of course on the top end too. We're gonna try a 3S next. But one thing to note with this brushed car, it doesn't have the fancier upgraded metal diffs and it doesn't have the metal axles. So if you have a brushed vehicle and you upgrade it to brushless, it's probably best to just use it on 2S. If you wanna mainly use a 3S, you're gonna wanna think about upgrading the diffs and those axles. The car on 2S is still plenty fun and I imagine that's how most people would wanna use this, especially because that's the battery it comes with. So we're only using the 3S for this speed run. All the bashing we're gonna do on the 2S. Oh my gosh. Freaking rocket the size of a shoe. $52 miles an hour. Wow. So it's been a couple of minutes since we did that 3S speed run and the motor is a little bit warm, although it's like 100 degrees outside right now. But I can hold my finger on there quite a bit and we are using the fan. Upgrading this fan may be another good thing we should have thought about. Arrma Grom, I'm doing all the paperwork because my grandma's dog. Is this guy gonna turn? Not using his blinker. So I think these tires may be hooking up even better on the road than the stock tires. Oh wow, it traction rolled. So these Brushed Groms are just excellent RC cars for their price, but upgrading it really takes it to the next level. More traction, more power. Grip it and rip it. And it certainly does. So guys, go check out everything we talked about in this video with our links down below, or if you want more RC videos, check these out.